If you like fireworks on the chessboard, this is the game you can't miss. Alireza Firouzja, one of the most electrifying players in the world, faced off against another French powerhouse, Maxime Vachier-Lagrada, in round 1 of the 2025 Superbet Chess Classic in Romania. Firouzja starts with e4, and after c5 by MVL, we have Sicilian defense, already a sign of both players are in for a fight. Knight f3, e6, and rather passive moves d3 instead of traditional d4. MVL immediately grabs the center with d5. Queen e2, knight f6 and g3. Firouzja's plan is to develop the bishop on g2. Knight c6, bishop g2, bishop e7 and a4. White playing on both sides of the board. b6, the light square bishop is heading to b7 or a6. Castle for white, bishop b7 and Firouzja bishop jumps to f4. Prophylactical move h6 met with aggressive h4. Castle and Firouzja pushes his pawn to e5. MVL retreats his knight to h7, c3, queen d7, both players finishing development, and f5. That would block all white initiative, but there is an en passant move in chess and Firouzja takes the pawn. Bishop h3 with some serious pressure on the e6 pawn. g5, too aggressive opening up your king. Exchange of the pawns and bishop goes to e5. MVL repositions his queen, we have exchange of the bishops on f6 and Firouzja redirects his knight to g4. Rook h6, challenging the bishop, bishop retreats, knight f6, knight g4 forces a knight exchange, MVL activates his knight to e5, queen e2, and the knight goes back. Knight f1, another knight maneuver met with g4, MVL is gaining space, a5, MVL does not accept pawn sacrifice and instead moves forward b5. Firouzja pushes the pawn to a6, bishop has to retreat to a8, but remains on a long diagonal. Rook d1, rook f8, knight h2, rook g6, queen d2. MVL plays knight b8, suggesting he would like to get the pawn on a6. Firouzja pays no attention and strikes in the center with d4. MVL closes the position and makes his light squared bishop crying on a8. Firouzja decides to protect the pawn with the rook. Bishop c6, and white lifts the other rook on a juicy square e5. MVL cannot tolerate that rook even for one move and challenges it with knight e7. Rook goes to h5, knight f6 attacking the rook again, rook h4, bishop d7, rook e1, bishop c8, knight f1. Black cannot take the pawn on a6 because white will take a more important pawn on e6. Rook g5, rook e5, rook g6, no rook exchange for you. White knight is joining his troops. King f7. The best move, by the way, in this position. Queen e2, rook e8, and Firouzja tried to break black pawn chain with b3. And MVL finally grabs the pawn on a6. The winning move here was queen a2. And after the bishop retreats, queen takes a7. But Firouzja first exchanged the pawns and now played queen a2. And black are fine here after bishop b5, but MVL blunders with bishop c8 and runs into a brilliant knight sacrifice. Knight takes d5. Pawn takes d5. Queen takes a7 check. Bishop d7 protecting the king. Bishop d5 check. Knight takes d5. Queen takes d7 check. Knight e7. Another check by the rook. Rook f6 and another brilliant rook sacrifice. Rook takes g4. Now if queen takes the rook, we have a devastating discovery attack to win the queen. So black plays queen h8, and after exchange of the rooks on f6 and rook h4, MVL sees the writing on the wall, as the black lose their queen no matter where they go next. For example, queen g7 will be met by rook f4 and then rook g4. A brilliancy by one of the most creative minds of modern chess. Alireza Firouzja shows once again why he not just a favorite, but he is a chess wizard. And this is why we watch chess. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.